welcome back to my channel. So today I filmed this full face holiday inspired makeup tutorial for you guys. So if you guys want to see how I got this pretty simple holiday glam that's perfect for any kind of holiday event, occasion, for Christmas parties, for Christmas, for whatever you guys have going on this holiday season, I think this look is perfect for those kinds of events, and I would love to know what you guys think. So if you guys want to see how I got this holiday inspired makeup tutorial, then please keep on watching. Okay guys, so let's get started. As you can see, I have my brows already done. I do have a tutorial where I show you guys my everyday brow routine. So if you guys want to see how I do my brows, then I will link that in the description box down below. It's Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I'm just going to place some of that on the lids of my eyes. So my eyes are a little bit puffy, as you guys can see. I am a little bit stuffed up. The weather here in Canada is super cold right now. If you live in a warm climate, I'm really jealous of you guys. Okay, so I'm going to be using this whatever palette from ColourPop Cosmetics. I'm envisioning like a simple holiday look, and I think that this palette has beautiful colors in there and it'll give me what I'm imagining in my head. So I'm just going to get started. In the crease, I'm going to use the shade called Copycat. It's a beautiful warm orangey brown shade. Super nice just to put all over the crease. I'm going to use this Morphe JH32 blending brush. So we have that shade all blended out in the crease, and I'm gonna go into this more cranberry shade. This is called Bad Guy, and I'm just gonna place it on the outer corners of my eyes. And for that, I'm using the smaller Morphe JH35 blending brush. I'm just gonna place that cranberry shade just on the outer corners just to add a bit more dimension. And I just think cranberry and these warm orangey terracotta colors just scream the holidays to me. Just a little bit of that darker cranberry shade just on the outer corners. Now on my lid, I'm envisioning a really nice blown out kind of glittery champagne shade, and the shade here in the palette called Tardy is the perfect shade, and it's beautiful. This is in their Super Shock shadow formula, so it already has like a good hydration to it, and it is really beautiful, metallic, and super nice. So I'll swatch that for you guys. You can just see how nice and metallic that is. I have this formula in the palette. It's just really beautiful. So I'm actually just going to use my fingers and just place that on the inner corners of my eyes. So I wanted to keep this look really simple while still giving you that holiday glam kind of feel. And as you can see, I'm just literally using my index finger here and just letting that metallic shade kind of just like diffuse on the inner corner. And I'm just going to keep packing that on until I feel like it is the desired opaqueness. Okay, so I love that metallic shade on the inner corner. I think it's just a beautiful champagne shade, and it was so simple to achieve. Literally just put a little bit on with your fingers on the inner corners, and I just feel like it gives you that beautiful like holiday warm glowy glittery look. It's so pretty. I'm just going to use this a little flat brush here. This is a Morphe JH43 brush, and I'm going to dip into this matte dark brownish color called In Bold. So I'm going to use some of that darker shadow to just line the lid and kind of just smoke it out a little bit without using a liner. I'm just using that dark shadow. Okay, now just taking a wet wipe, I'm just going to clean off the fallout that we have. And I'm kind of just using that wet wipe to kind of create a little bit of a line. Okay, so now I'm going to prime my face with this e.l.f. Cosmetics. This is their Poreless Putty Primer. And I'm just going to place some of that on my T-zone, where I have the most pores and problem areas. Okay, now for foundation, I'm going to use this Real Techniques blending sponge. I make sure that I washed it and it's a little bit damp, which is super important. You want to make sure it's damp because it will just apply the product much better. And I'm going to go into this Bare Minerals BarePro Performance Wear Liquid Foundation. This is in the shade Linen 10.5. Bounce that onto my face. Okay, so now for concealer, I'm going to use this e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer, and I'm going to mix the shades called Tan, Latte, and Medium Sand, just because I feel like it'll create the perfect shade for me. So I'm just gonna first place some of the darker shade, which is the Tan Latte shade, just on the inner corners here. I always like to mix my concealers just because I feel like my skin is always changing. Sometimes I'll be self-tan, sometimes I'm super pale, especially now in the winter months. As you can see, I'm getting more pale, so I like to just kind of custom create. As you can see, I'm adding a little bit of the lighter one, and I'm gonna take that lighter shade and just kind of drag it out and clean that line that we created there with the wet wipe, just to kind of really make sure that it looks nice and defined. I'm just gonna blend that out with this damp Real Technique sponge. Okay, now I'm going to set my under eyes with this ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder. I'm just gonna use a little powder puff for that, and I'm gonna place some of that under my eyes. You don't need too much setting powder, especially with this concealer, because it is super matte and long lasting, so I only like to set just a little bit. And now this foundation is also super matte, but I am going to set it very lightly with this Bare Minerals BarePro Performance Wear Powder Foundation. This is in the shade Light Natural 09. I'm going to take some of that onto this Morphe E58 brush, and I'm just gonna lightly just set some of the parts where I feel like during the day they could come off, like under my chin, because sometimes I'll like rest my hand under my chin. So I'm just gonna do that extra step. Excess setting powder that we have. And now for bronzer, I'm going to use this MAC Cosmetics Give Me Sun. This is their Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in the shade Give Me Sun, and I love this bronzer. I think it's my all-time favorite bronzer, to be honest. So I'm going to use some of that on with this Morphe JH02 brush. This is also one of my favorite bronzing brushes. It's just perfect. And I'm just going to place some of that just where I want some natural bronzing to take place. So on my cheeks, on the top of my forehead, just like to give some warmth and definition back into my face with this bronzer. Okay, so now I'm gonna take some of that same e.l.f. concealer. This is the one in the shade called Medium Sand, and I'm gonna place some of that on my nose because I'm gonna do a little bit of cream contouring. I'm just using this really small Morphe M515 brush, and I'm gonna place some of that on the tip and bridge of my nose. I'm just gonna blend that out with my fingertip. Just kind of diffusing it a little bit. I'm just gonna place a little bit of highlighter with this small little pencil brush. I'm gonna actually use this Sleek highlighter. This is the Sleek Cosmetics highlighting palette in Solstice, and I'm gonna use this shade right here, which is my favorite. It's like a beautiful bright champagne shade, and I'm just gonna place some of that onto this little brush and just highlight where we place that concealer. I know not everybody likes a nose highlight. It's totally optional and it's up to you guys. I just find that it makes such a huge difference for me, especially, and I just love the way a highlighted nose looks. I don't know, it's obviously personal preference. Now before we go in with the blush and highlighter, I'm gonna just finish my eyes. So I'm gonna do my lower lash line, and I'm gonna go into the shade called Copycat, which was the first shade that we used in the crease. And I'm just gonna blend some of that on the lower lash line. I'm going to use this ColourPop E9 brush for that. Now taking this smaller and thinner little pencil brush, this is a ColourPop E10 brush. I'm gonna dip into that same nice cranberry shade that we also use called Bad Guy, and I'm just gonna place that more on the outer corners. Okay, now using this Morphe JH42 brush, I'm going to use that other beautiful shade that we used on the inner corner called Tardy, and I'm going to place that on the inner corners of my eyes. You can see I'm just placing that and kind of dragging it a little bit on the lower lash line as well, just on the inner corner. Okay, now in the waterline, I'm going to use this NARS. This is their High-Pigment Longwear eyeliner. This is in the shade called Rue Bonaparte, and it's a beautiful nude cream shade, and I'm just going to place that in the waterline. Givenchy Black Disturbia mascara. It's their black one. It's in the shade called Black Disturbia 01. To pop on a pair of lashes that I got from eBay. I will link those in the description box. Of course, this step is optional. It's totally up to you. Okay, now to add some blush to the face, I'm going to use this little Morphe palette. This is their blush trio in the shade Pop of Rosé or Pop of Rose. I'm going to use this beautiful kind of like mauvey rose shade. This is in the shade called Legendary. Super beautiful. Since I'm planning to do a red lip, I kind of want to keep my blush really neutral, so this shade is perfect. To place that on the apples of my cheeks with this Morphe JH06 brush. Like to put a little bit on the tip and bridge of my nose. I feel like it just makes you look a little cuter and kind of evens out everything a little bit. Okay, now to highlight my cheeks, I'm going to use this Pixi highlighting duo. I actually haven't used this in a while and I forgot how much I loved it. So I wanted to use it again on camera because it's a super beautiful duo here. I love this gold shade the most. As you can see, it's like well loved. The Pixi Glowy Gossamer Duo in Subtle Sunrise. And I'm going to take some of this golden shade over here with this Morphe JH09 brush. Look how pretty that is. I think it's always nice to look glowy, and especially for the holidays, you kind of want to bring some of that glow back into your skin, especially with the winter and your face. And if you're like me and you live in a cold climate, your skin is much more dry. Okay, now for the lips, this has been a combo I've been obsessed with lately. I have been loving this red here. This is actually like a bright orange red, which I think is super pretty for the holidays. I'm obsessed with like these orangey reds. This is the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in Bugaboo. I like to line it with this NARS Precision Lip Liner in this shade called Mariachi. And it's just a beautiful, more deep red, while this is like kind of like a neon orangey red. So I just think the combo looks amazing. So first I'm going to line my lips with that lip liner. Overlining my lips a bit. I like the way it looks, especially when I have red lips. You can see that it's a nice deep kind of true red lip liner, and then I'm going to go in with this orangey red here. That's gorgeous. This is their ultra matte lip, so it will dry to be a nice matte. I like using that darker lip liner just to kind of give this shade a bit more dimension and almost like an ombre effect, but a little bit not as like dramatic. I just love the way this came out. I think it is actually super simple. You can see the eyes didn't really take that much work. The bright red lip really kind of just took this look to like the next level. I think it screams the holidays. I love red lips for the holidays. I just think it's super festive and just so pretty. So I would love to know if you guys like this look, if you want to see more holiday looks, maybe even more glam glittery looks. I would love to know, so let me know. So this is a really nice look for holiday parties coming up. I know so many people are busy. You might have work parties, any kind of party that you're going to. I think this would be a beautiful holiday festive party look. Obviously it's a little bit more dramatic with the red lip. You don't have to do the red lip. You could even tone it down and just do a nude or something else. But I just really think that the red lip took it to the next level. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in my next video.